Yes, 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 yes. Hey guys, Gerald Peters. I'm the author of this completely free book, except the difference is on this, there's no shipping, no follow-up, no mentor groups, none of that guru bullshit. It's just free information from me to you. I'm a real person. You can email me, text me, phone me, however you want to get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that are contained in the book. Inside of this book, I talk about the different things that I invest in. One is simply real estate. Everyone understands real estate. I have a portfolio of about 15 houses. Not the biggest real estate investor in the world, but I know a little bit about investing in real estate. Now, I try to buy one house a year. That's my goal, is every year to acquire one house. Now, in addition to buying houses, I like to take the profits from my houses and push them into the stock market. And so in the stock market, I buy blue chip stocks. Now, like in life, like everything else in life, I like to buy stocks on sale. I don't like to pay high prices. Well, here's how they got you. If you get out there and you go on these websites, Seeking Alpha and Zero Hedge and The Street and CNBC and all this other stuff where you can just have your brain fucking fried from all the different opinions and articles by 26-year-old journalists that don't know shit about trading stocks. I've been doing this for 18 years. You want to buy stocks when they're cheap, and you want to sell them when they're expensive. When they're cheap, they have bad ratings. It's a C rating, D rating, don't buy this stock. And then when the stock goes really high, they want to sell it to you, and they give it an A rating, a B rating, okay? And so when you go out and you research a stock, you're going to say, wow, this stock really sucks. And guess what? So you're going to buy a stock. Just talking stocks makes me want to drink a beer. You're going to buy a stock that has an A-B rating, like an Amazon, a Facebook, something like this, when it's way overpriced, when you should be buying it down here. So Warren Buffett, the most famous investor in the world, what does he say? You should buy stocks when other people are fearful and sell them when other people are greedy. So could we conclude if this was a stock price, $50, and then it ran up to $100, and then it sold off to $50, and then it ran back up to $100, could we conclude that this is greedy? Anybody buying a stock up here is being greedy. They're just they're following the herd. They're the sheep. They're being led astray by all the news. So they're buying stocks here because they see articles on CNBC and Yahoo Finance and all this dumb shit. And then when it falls to $50 and it gets a C or a D rating, nobody wants it. But could we conclude this would be a good time that this is fearful? That the price going down fell in fear and the price goes up based on greed. See, the market moves on fear and greed, fear and greed. When you see the Dow Jones sell off, that's because of fear. When you see it go up, that's because of greed. And so, false evidence appearing real, fear. So if you are prone to sell your stocks because the price goes down, you're fearful. The thing about investing, and the thing about owning stocks that people don't understand, everybody has an opinion about stocks. Most people are just stupid. They actually don't understand the stock market. They think they do. I hate to tell you this, most of the people you know are actually stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. They all have an opinion, but they actually don't know what it means to own a stock. They don't understand dividend yields. They don't understand price to earning ratios. They don't understand charts, but they have very forceful opinions, very what they think are actual valid opinions, but they're not. So the stock market moves in 4 stages. And when my grandfather was born, stocks were here. Well, let's say your grandfather. And when your dad was born, stocks were here. And then when you were born, stocks were here. And then when your kid was born, stocks were here. And it looks like that. And yet, the reality is, it goes like this. You see that? These are the fear or greed lines. These are the fear lines. And so the market looks like this. And so when they say that the average return of the S&P 500 is 9 to 10% a year, I go with 10%. The problem is 10% looks like this. And so because most people are fearful, they're gutless, they don't understand to be an investor, it takes courage. It takes courage. You have to have courage to be an investor. This is why normal people can't do it. Most people don't have courage. They just don't. The slightest little thing will scare them. If Trump tweets something, they're ready to sell. If there's talks of a tariff, interest rates, oh my God, the Federal Reserve, fiat currency, the whole world's going to collapse, right? You've heard all this. For 20-something years that I've invested in the stock market, the world has been ending the entire time. And yet my grandfather was born, my dad was born, I was born, my son was born, and this is the Dow Jones. And when my kid's born, and then I'll be a grandfather, and my kid, and then his kid, and this is how it's going to go. And you can choose to not participate. So the layup is you put $200 a month into the S&P 500, and you're going to ride this wave, and you're going to make $1 million. See my last video. Okay? Truth is, most people don't have courage to do that. They just don't have the courage. Or they rely on intellect, because they're smart. The science of getting rich teaches us that dumb people get rich just like poor people or smart people get rich. So intellect isn't smart. Look at long-term capital management. They had several Nobel Peace Prize winners, and they almost bankrupt the U.S. economy. So one of the problems, if you're smart, it actually can work against you, because this is a dumb man's game. Real estate's a dumb man's game, but people spend their time mental masturbation, going from course to course to guru, trying to figure out something that all they need to do is just do it. Just take action. Just start buying shit. So you just go buy a house. Why is it a big fucking deal? And rent it. And then go buy a dividend stock. Why is that a big deal? And then start collecting the dividend, right? And then just keep doing this over and over and over and over. That's it. There is no magic formula. So, we did houses the other day, so let's stick to stocks. I tend to get off track here. But the stock market moves in 4 stages. We just saw basically it's one big up stage, but it tends to go like this. And inside of this movement, we can plot it on charts. Go to stockcharts.com. That's the service I use because it works on my phone and it works mobile. And it goes like this. And so we call this stage 1, prices are flat. Stage 1, prices are flat. This turn, we'll say that's stage 1. Stage 2 is the breakout. This is where prices turn, breaks out of the stage 1, and prices begin to move up. And this is what we call, so here's the stage 2, prices broke out here, they move up, so stage 2. The tops we call stage 3, and the breakdowns are the opposite of stage 2, they're stage 4. And so you see 1 and 3 look basically the same, 2 and 4 look the same, they're just opposite directions, okay? We can pinpoint these using charts. I can tell you exactly what the U.S. stock market is doing. I can look at it and go, yep, we're in stage 1 uptrend. Like, you don't have to be very smart. You could read my ebook. I have a book called The Money Flow where I break all this down. These are stages. And so if I look at the S&P 500, I can say, oh, we're selling off, we're on a sell. Now, what I can't tell you is how far down will it go or how high will it go. I don't know. Nobody knows. And people who tell you they know are full of shit. So, and anyone, let me side note, anyone selling you fear, you need to run from. Anyone selling you the economy is going to collapse are fucking liars. You need to run from them. You need to run from anyone selling newsletters that tell you they can pick stocks and they're really, run from these people. They are all full of shit. You don't need any of that, okay? I'm sure that won't make me very popular with the gurus on YouTube or anywhere else. But this is how the market moves, and this is really how it moves. If you follow me on Instagram, I post this all the time, showing you what stages we're in. So if we can conclude, I'm just going to keep it simple here, stage 1, let's say stage 1, sideways movement. Let's say this is the breakout, stage 2, and this is the top, and then here's stage 4, the breakdown. Would it make sense to you that this is greed and that down here is fear? And if Warren Buffett says we should be fearful when other people are greedy, meaning if we're right here and we can tell, then we should maybe get out or take profits here. And then maybe we should buy down here. So if we're investors, we could buy the fear, we could sell the greed. And you say, Gerald, there's no way you could know that. Of course you can. I do it all the time. You can look in my book. It's very easy. And so I use indicators. I use charts from stockcharts.com. I use a couple very simple indicators that I plot on a chart. Not complicated at all. Go to stockcharts.com, you can see a chart, and it'll look something like this. These are bars, and this is price going up, and then maybe it has a couple down days, and then it goes back up, then it has a down day, and then it goes back up, and then it has a down day, and it goes back up. Right? And so we can plot moving averages on this, and it'll tell us a little information. We can do indicators. And these moving averages will tell us things. And so really the one you want to use is the 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average. Now, if you're into trading right now, you're going, blah, 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 your brain is wiggling out because you have your own favorite indicators. I know, every trader does. This is how I can always tell when I'm talking to a guru that's full of shit, because every trader I ever met wanted to correct you, and every trader can't help but tell you about trading or some trade they did. And when you meet a guy who never actually talks about a trade but just talks about trading, he's full of shit, because I've never met anyone. You ever met a fisherman who didn't want to tell you a fishing story? Come on, man. And there's a lot of gurus out there. One of them's the most popular. He's got the most popular, most sold book ever for trading. And I've never heard the guy mention one trade ever, an actual trade that he did. He's a journalist who writes books about trading. That's not who you want to learn from. How are we doing on time? All right, so we're doing good. So, and you're not going to get all this from this video, but this will get you on the right track. The simple 20-day moving average. If price is above it, we're in an uptrend. If price is below it, we're in a downtrend. I start with that, okay? And so I start with that. That's not the be-all, end-all. That's not the end of it. That's one of 5 indicators that I look at. So let's put that over here, 20-day MA. And I guess I should draw a better price thing here. I got the drinking, now I'm cursing, and I'm not paying attention. So let me do a better job here. So let's pretend like these are charts. And so the 20-day moving average is going to go something like this. And so when price is above it, we're in a bull trend. When price is below it, we're in a bearish trend. So that's the first indicator I use. First is price in relation to the moving average. That'll tell me what stage we're in. Because remember the stage? Stage 1, stage 2. Well, the stage 2 breakout, guess what? Price is going to close above this 20-day moving average. That's your signal that we're breaking out. Up here, it's going to go sideways. It's going to fall underneath the 20. That's going to give you stage 4 as price breaks down. And if you go look at any chart, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, fucking GE, Verizon, any chart, you're going to see this play out. Get a hold of me. You can look at my book. If you go to my Instagram, I post some free charts where I analyze the S&P 500 every week. Okay? Now, what is the point of all of this? Because I want to buy low and sell high. I don't need perfect timing, by the way. This is for trading or investing. So if we want to buy when other people are fearful, we need an indicator that tells us price has gone too low. And so I use an indicator called RSI. On a simple 14-day, if you're a trading nerd, you know what that means. If you're not, now you have some homework. And so, yeah, I'm saying you need to learn how to use a chart. You need to learn some technical indicators. You need to learn some fucking tools of how to build wealth. That's what I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about. So as price goes down, rather than you saying, well, I don't understand the stock market, I don't know how to do this, instead of saying that, you could utilize the alpha code within you, the brain God has given you, the spirit, the same one that was in Steve Jobs and Einstein is in you, and you could begin to learn this stuff. These millionaire blueprint stuff. Like, so when I talk about the millionaire blueprint in part 1, part 2, and part 3 of the video, and then yesterday's video I talked about buying a house, this is how you do it on a chart. So you're going to develop skills, high income skills that make money, and this is one, reading a chart. And so this indicator will go, it's usually up here on your charts, and it goes like this as price moves around, and when price goes too low, it drops under and it codes a color. That's fear. That's your fear gauge. And so I have a fear gauge. I want to be greedy when other people are fearful. So this tells me if I have money, I should be looking at buying this stock. And so I have 42 stocks in my account that I have charts on that I look at all the time. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but getting rich is not easy. And as these things happen, if I have new money, I want to add to my shares when I'm in a stage 1. So we're back to the stages. So if stocks do this all the time, they're just doing this all the time, I want to buy down here. This indicator and this indicator will tell me when to do that. Buy low. sell high. The richest man in the world says to do this. You should be greedy when other people are fearful. So when your friend is a scared bitch because of something that's going on with the feds or tariffs or any other nonsense they put, I don't even look at the news anymore. It's all complete bullshit. I just follow this. The stock market has never gone to zero. It's never going to fucking zero, no matter how much fear they give you. You need to invest into everyone else who's gutless and they're cowards and they're selling. You need to be buying. You need to be buying when other people are selling. But you need a way of doing that. So indicators and learning how to use charts will help you do that. So I don't buy stocks when the market's going up. I'll stop talking about stocks. I'm done. I'm all in. My money's just growing. I don't buy expensive houses. I buy fucked up houses that need work. See what I'm saying? We want to buy low, sell high. And so I use these indicators. Now there's a few other indicators I use is MACD, and then I also use support and resistance, if you look on there. And so I have an entire strategy, and my strategy looks for 5 indicators. I need all 5 of them to align, and when all 5 of them align, I know exactly what to do. There's no fear involved. It's just managing your money as yourself. Instead of sending your money to fucking banks and mutual funds and Vanguard and all this other bullshit where they all have mansions, they all fly in jets, and they all do their shit. You don't. So instead of funding all of these people or sending it to gurus or trading Forex or Bitcoin or binary or crypto or other bullshit, you start buying real assets with a real strategy that you really control, that you understand. That's what I would do. Hey, follow along, click like, or don't like me, whichever. I'm going to keep posting these videos. This is what I talked about in the Millionaire Blueprint. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. In the last video I talked about buying houses. Now I'm talking about how I buy stocks. And I'll just continue to add more and more to this as we go, because I don't think you're going to get all of it in one video. And that's not my point. My point is to get you thinking big picture of how you can begin to learn these skills that millionaires have, these skill sets. Right? It's not a scheme. It's not a scam. It's not something you learn one time. This is a lifelong learning process. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see me posting all the time. I'm buying this stock. I'm selling a little bit of this stock. I just got this dividend. Oh, I just collected rents. Like, I'm sharing real time, real shit that I'm personally doing to make money that anybody can do. Anybody can do this stuff, I'm telling you.